Rue's like, how many of these do we have to do? A lot. Oh my God, look at how cute your little feet are. Your feet are so adorable. Show the camera. No? Okay.
It's not a real fire. It can't burn you. Fake fireside chat.
Being so cute. Hey everybody. It is Tracy here from Beyond Obedience, and it is time for Fake Fireside Chats with Tracy and Rue. Rue being cute over here. Just being all cute. Look at her being all adorable. Crossing her little feet. Being all cute. Today we are doing part 2 of Marianne's question about her shepherd Gus and his 7 o'clock chomp fest that he likes to do. He likes to grab on her husband's arm and chomp away, and now it's become a problem. All right, so last week we talked about the obedience answer to this question, teaching your dog place command, the importance of getting through all the way through place, doing distance, duration, and distractions to get to a point where your dog fully understands and gets the full benefit of this command. Place command is an amazing command for anybody struggling with their dogs. I would say it's one of the best. All right, so for the Beyond Obedience answer to your question, Marianne, we're going to talk about a couple of things today. The first thing I'm going to talk about is what I call the 4 situations of my dog's life. The 4 situations of my dog's life. Now, as many of you know, I don't do a lot of obedience with my dogs. But what I do focus on is my dogs have 4 areas of their life that are very, very predictable, and they know what to expect in each of these areas. My dogs have work time, they have play time, they have rest, and they have eating. That's it. So work is anytime they're wearing their collars or leashes, they are working. They are supposed to be in a working frame of mind. And this is true for my dogs because most of my dogs were used for pack walking and walking with dogs that struggle with walking. So my dogs always had to be in a very, very cool work state of mind. Then we have play. Play is a different state of mind. It's a little bit more energy. It's a little bit more chaotic. So when my dog's collars come off and they're in a fenced-in yard and I say playtime, you know, it's playtime. They can run around, be a dog, wrestle with each other. You know, my body language changes. Everything sort of changes about that. That's playtime. And then we have, of course, rest time. So anytime that they are, you know, in their crates, in their kennels, that is supposed to be rest time. And then, of course, we have feeding time or eating time, right? Now, I would love to say that my feeding time is calm. It is not. It really isn't. You know when I'm feeding my kennel. You'll know. Like, I mean, the neighbors know. I mean, everyone knows when I'm feeding the kennel. And I don't necessarily care too much about that. I don't care that they get excited about that. I think eating is a celebration, right? Food is a celebration. It is in our culture. I don't think it's much different for dogs. So I allow them to be a little bit excited when they hear the dog food coming out. They're allowed to be a little bit excited. They can't attack each other. Obviously, they can't steal from one another. They have to be respectful of each other, but they can be a little bit excited. Okay? So for those situations in life, you can tell that all of that is about a different state of mind, right? Work is a calmer work state of mind. Play is obviously more excited. Feeding time is also a celebration. And then, of course, rest time is calm time. Now, how does this relate to what you're talking about here? I have created a situation that any dogs that are in my house is rest time. I do not ever allow playing in my house. It's not a thing that happens. So I don't have an issue of, even at the witching hour, I don't have an issue of dogs being amped up and running around my house or playing or grabbing toys in my house. I have created an expectation and a state of mind around this house. So you can imagine how that has helped me out in tons of different ways. If I have company over, my dogs are not going to be running around. Even if my kids are running around. We, on the weekend, were playing Nerf wars here. We were shooting Nerf guns, and I was juggling balls. I was trying to show my kids how I can juggle ball. I can't really juggle balls, but I was trying to show my kids how I can juggle balls. And so there were balls bouncing and jumping and doing all this stuff. And my dogs did not get involved. They did not play with that because we don't allow it in the house. Playtime for our dogs is always done outside. Always done outside. And we don't stray from that. We really don't. So I don't have an issue the same way that you would have the issue. Now, obviously, this is something that I have incorporated. I incorporated a long time ago, and we've just always done it. So any new dogs coming in just sort of fold into this mindset that the house is calm, but it is my expectation. It is what I want in my house. I don't want craziness in my house. Now, that's not to say that you need to be like me. You don't. You don't. I mean, why wouldn't you? But you don't have to be like me. You can have different rules. It's your house, it's your life, it's your rules. But just know that when you incorporate play into the house, you lose that ability to create that expectation. And when people come over and whatnot, your dogs won't know the difference. They won't be able to go, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be calm now because there's people here. I have to be different now because grandma's here. I have to be different because there's kids here. They will struggle with that because it is not the expectation that you have or the rules that you have set or the state of mind that you have about this actual thing. So even though I praised the crap out of the place command in the first video, none of my dogs know place command. They don't need to, because we don't have that issue, right? I mean, technically, you could say, well, Rue's placing right now. She's not really. I just asked her to get up here for this video. And she's like, cool, I get to be on a chair, right? For her, she's just like, I've leveled up. Now I'm above Nigel. But she's not placing. And if you were to ask any of my dogs to place in my house, they wouldn't know what to do. But I haven't had to teach them that because I've created a different state of mind for my whole house, okay? Again, it doesn't have to be your reality. I'm just saying that that's a thing, okay? Now, the second beyond obedience answer is to tap into that one of the pillars, one of the foundations of relationship, and that would be fulfillment factor. I spoke about this before in a previous question, Darlene's question, I believe, about her friend's shepherd. Same thing I'm going to say to you. Fulfillment-wise, genetically need to use your mouth. It doesn't matter what line of shepherd you have, if you have a herding breed line or if you have a protection line, both of those shepherds like to use their mouth. That part of their predatory motor pattern, that grab, bite, kill, bite, enhanced in the shepherd, right? Grab, bite, enhanced in the shepherd. So playing tug is going to be a great way for you to do that, or in this case for your husband to do that. If this is how he wants to engage with the dog, I would recommend, again, finding a really good video on how to play tug. J-Jack, look up J-Jack as a dog trainer. He's big in playing tug. There's Learberg videos, Michael Ellis videos of how to teach tug or playing tug and the importance of tug and the brilliance of tug and all that stuff. But you want to make sure you're doing it in the right way. You're doing it in the way that you start the game, you stop the game. You teach those commands, those take it commands, the yes command, the out command, all of those things. You're teaching that, so you're getting your leadership points, right? Starting, stopping the game, teaching the leadership, they're doing it, you're getting those points. Relevance through the roof when it comes to playing tug, because it is the heightened part of that predatory motor pattern, right? It is the part where the animal, if they were hunting, struggles to live. It's the shaking part, right? It is the most intense part of that whole pattern. And if you are a part of it and you have utilized your leadership points, your relevance points will skyrocket, because you are now on that relevance scale. You're more dog-like. You're joining your dog in a dog-like behavior. Relevance through the roof, and then finally fulfillment. You're genetically fulfilling him. Trifecta of relationship. All good things come from doing this, but doing it properly. Again, do the time. Take the time to teach it properly. Do it properly in a way that he understands, and give him that fulfillment. And you will not only boost your husband, it doesn't matter, whoever's doing it, your husband will boost that relationship. It will fulfill him But you will also, at the end of it, get a dog that is chill. Not just tired, but actually fulfilled. So I'm going to swing back to a couple of the points that you made, that some of the things that you're doing with the dog is to incorporate the association of play when guests come. I want you to really seriously think about state of mind here, okay? Because if you're doing retrieving games and you're amping up the dog before people come, you're changing the state of mind to be excited. And as I've mentioned before, maybe not in here, I've mentioned it in my course. In Relationship Remedy, we talk about this a lot, right? That cycle that the dogs do when you're playing retrieve, that it's the first part of the predatory motor pattern, right? It's eye stalk and then chase, grab, bite, right? That's the first part of that. If they don't get the heightened part and then the bottom part of that, which is the whole kill, dissect, consume, that part, and you just keep doing this and amping with retrieve games, then you're keeping your dog at a heightened state. And now your dog associates people coming over with heightened state. You don't want that. You don't want that, right? So you need to think about fulfillment factor before people come, right? And then calm state of mind. So I would caution you on what kind of things you're doing play-wise and think about what you get at the end of it. And you might get, like, everybody gets different things, right? So you might get a different thing, but I want you to start to think about that. Try it, do some retrieve games and whatnot, and see if he just chills out. If he does, great. But if he doesn't, or he chills out for a short period of time and then he's back at it and he's more intense, then he was just tired but not fulfilled. Okay, does that make sense? So beyond obedience wise, you have to start thinking about that state of mind. What are you getting at the end of that play session? Is it the state of mind that you want? You want a fulfilled dog, not a heightened dog, not an amped up dog, not a dog that's just like, yeah, need some more, right? Okay, hope that makes sense. That is the beyond obedience answer to your question, Marianne. Join us next week when I'm going to talk about the reality check, the slap you in the face reality check about this question. We're going to go a little bit deeper into this and talk a little bit more about this question so that you get the full picture. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Join us next week on Fake Fireside Chats with Tracy.